For this Valentine's Day, we're getting you a gift.
I'm answering all your really painful hooker questions.
All the relationship questions. That's right. We're releasing a podcast to you guys.
Yeah, so submit your questions. You can DM us, text us, email us. Any question, literally any question.
Any question. Nothing's off the table. So any questions you guys have about relationships or anything in that whole realm, just feel free to shoot those questions our way, and we'll do our best to answer those in podcast form.
Yeah.
And that's going to come to you guys on February 14th.
Valentine's Day. Be sweet.
Right on.
Yeah.
See you guys.
And then Moses was like, no, I swear the bush was on fire. And I was like, okay, Moses, go off. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. My name is Julia, and I'm pumped to be sharing with you all tonight. I know we're not watching it all as a group today, but don't you worry. I've got some super fun stuff to share with you all. Last week, Daniel told us all about how God made it evident to the Israelite people that he was establishing Moses as the Israelite leader. God had a very important thing that he had to speak to Moses about, and that's what we're going to be leaning into today. So, grab your popcorn, your storybook, and let's dive right in. Woo! Moses and Aaron were on Mount Sinai when God gave them what we know as the 10 Commandments. To learn more about the 10 Commandments, I'm going to let my friend, Julia, speak on them a little bit more. Take it away, Julia! Thanks, Julia! So, the 10 Commandments. The 10 golden rules. I'm sure you've all heard of something like this before. Now, the 10 Commandments were sent down by God as a set of rules he asked us people to live by. The commandments were in place to teach people how to live well with God and with each other. So, let's walk through this together. I'm going to be using these lovely fruits, specifically apples, to help us better understand what each of the commandments are asking of us. So, commandment number 1. You shall have no other gods before me. If the apple is my favorite fruit, it always comes first for me, before pears and oranges and all other fruits. The same goes for God. We need to put him above everything else. The second commandment, you shall not make idols. I can't take an orange and just pretend it's an apple. It's just not. We can't make false idols and replace it with the one true God. The third commandment, you shall not use the Lord's name in vain. Now this is an apple. It's not a strawberry or a banana. It is called an apple. The third commandment asks us to not use God's name in any other ways than referring to him and his goodness. The fourth commandment, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Now, when I go to the store to buy an apple, the apples have been through a whole crazy process of growing and getting picked, being washed and shipped and then sold. But once they're at the store, the workers put them out and then they leave them. They leave them alone. Well, if they kept doing things with them and tossing them around, the apples would get bruised. People also need rest and breaks. And God asks us to spend a day of our week away from our busy schedules to remember the goodness he has given us. Numero 5. Honor your father and mother. If you look inside the apple, right here, you can see the seeds. Now, the seeds that this apple produced can actually be used to make more apples. We're the seeds of our parents, and it's because of them that we are here today, and God asks us to honor them. Commandment number 6, do not murder. Ah! Don't do that. Commandment number 7, do not commit adultery. So, if this pear and this orange were married, oh, we're so in love, oh, smooch, 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 smooch. And then the apple came over here and he was like, hey, orange, teehee, like, maybe want to hang out, ditch that pear and come hang out with me? That would be adultery. We let the orange and the pear live together happily forever. Commandment number 8, do not steal. See this? Don't do that. Commandment number 9, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. If I looked you in the eyes and I said, This is an orange. I'd be lying to you. The commandment basically just asks us not to lie. Lastly, commandment number 10. You shall not covet. If I had an apple and then my friend had an orange, I should be happy with what I have, not jealous of what my friend has, even if it's just different. This commandment tells us to keep what we have as ours and make sure to not crave what our neighbors have. Thanks for learning with me, friends. Take it away, Julia. Thank you, Julia. So, Moses, he was just given the 10 Commandments, and he was eager to tell the Israelite people of what the Lord had said. So, he ran down and told them all immediately. On pages 62 and 63, you can read all about the steps, the sacrifices, and the work that the Israelites put into making this covenant. Now, this was a huge deal to them. The covenant is like a big promise that's made. Now, both sides would be responsible for keeping a promise. For the Israelite people, they were to follow the commandments, to make sacrifices, and to worship only God. And for God, he gave them the promised land and formed a type of relationship with the people that had never been seen before. After this covenant, Moses was called back onto the mountain by God. Now, Moses stayed on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. And the Lord told him to build a tabernacle where the Lord could stay with his people. Now, a tabernacle was a tent of sorts where God could dwell on earth and be close to his people. Wow, we just unpacked a lot there. So, here's what we know. Moses was given the 10 Commandments. The Israelites made sacrifices to the Lord and promised to follow the commandments. And now, Moses is back on top of the mountain being given more instructions on what to do next. It is so neat to look back and see where God began making promises with his people. A covenant would hold a strong bond between two groups. And unless both sides put in the effort, the covenant couldn't be kept. I remember one time, my mom said that if I did well on my math test, she would take me for ice cream. Now, this promise my mom and I made required both of us to give something. Now, I had to give up my time to work on my math, and she had to give up time for getting ice cream with me. On the screen, I'm going to leave you all with some questions to ask yourself, and if you'd like, you can take them and discuss them with your small group leaders. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you have so much fun answering those questions, and yeah, take them with your small group leaders, discuss them, and have a great time. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!